This is my garage, and it hasn't always looked like this. Over the last few months, I've been working to turn my garage from a once terrible, unusable space into an automotive enthusiast dream. And so far, it's been going really well. We cleaned the entire place, painted the walls, installed flooring and lighting, and even decorated a bit. But we are far from finished with this project. And today, we solved one of the biggest problems. This garage, well, this house, was built in 1890, which is pretty much pre-electric, and pre-car, and pre-me, and pre-most things. Which means it wasn't really set up for doing shenanigans and working on things and plugging things in.
We have no outlets.
The only outlets that are really any option to us or any good are for some reason all over here, which is why for quite a long time I have been carting around this, which is great and all, but it's not the best solution to my problem. Now.
Oh man!
Yeah. This, my friends, is the solution. It is practically a big old battery. It's from our friends at Anchor, and it is the perfect thing to solve our problem. We actually have a lot to do in this video, but this is gonna make the biggest difference, and this is what I'm most excited about. As you can see, there is many outlets here, including outlets of alien variety that most people, you don't see these in your home, and that's because they're higher voltage. But what's beneficial about them, and something we don't have in here, is that these can run a welder. And it'd be nice to be able to weld things in here. Not that we're any good at it, but we do have a welder.
And we can try not to burn everything down.
So, because I am not a certified electrician, and this is where I sleep at night, and because Anchor recommended it, I am gonna have an electrician come and install not only this, but a second one, and a panel that charges these and makes it really easy.
That's the hard part to install.
Yeah, apparently it would be hard for someone like me, a mere mortal with no electrical ability, but for an electrician, it's supposed to be incredibly easy. And it honestly looks pretty easy. I would maybe attempt it if I wasn't, scared of burning my house down while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Because I like sleeping at least with little fear. Anchor wants you to know that Prime Day sale is coming. So click the link below to grab amazing discounts for the power station and its bundles. Cleaning the garage seems to be a tradition now at the start of every garage video. But luckily, it's never a very difficult task. It turns out having a lot of car parts takes up a ton of space, so in the future, I'm gonna need a better storage solution. Once cleaned though, the electrician is ready to get to work. While this may have been a difficult job for someone like me, it turns out it's very simple for the experts. Anchor makes these things really easy to use and install. So after a bit of measuring and drilling, the units are all in and charging up. Now before I explain why these are gonna be so great, I need to let them charge and do a different task. The garage is still a little dirty even though I've cleaned it, and that's because we have a lot of car parts that are going to the shop. So don't mind those, don't mind the mess, that's going away. But we have the entire garage bay for the car all cleared out. The next step in the game plan is more storage. That is step one of accessorizing the garage. We have these toolboxes, which are great, but they don't fit everything. So I'm really excited to put some shelving up on the walls, and I think that will help a lot. I've never installed shelving like this before, so hopefully it goes correctly, but I can't imagine I can mess it up too bad. Turns out you can mess it up pretty bad. These shelves never came with instructions, so I'm having to do it all by guesswork and random YouTube videos. I keep having to undo it and try again, but after a ton of trial and error, I finally got it right. One cabinet down, one more to go. As you can see, I've even figured out how to get it to lock. Oh, there we go. I just now need to mount that. Well, I now need to make the second one and then mount both on the wall. But as you can see, this should offer a ton of extra storage space for all of our cleaning stuff and various objects over here. I want to clear this all out so that when we put a second garage door in, that's not all just blocking it and in the way. We want it to be a clean space where you can work on cars, you can store 2 cars. Well, actually, maybe you can store more than 2 cars. I haven't thought about that. But let's finish the other shelf first, and then we'll figure out next steps. I was able to build the second cabinet way quicker after learning from my mistakes on the first one. But now I need to try and mount them on the wall all by myself, which isn't ideal. I first tried just holding it up and drilling it at the same time. As you can imagine, that's not the best strategy. So I grabbed the toolbox and a cardboard box and used that to hold it at the correct height. That way, all I need to do is ensure the cabinet is level and mounted properly. We have the cabinets officially installed. I'm pretty happy with that. It's pretty much good to go and ready for a potential concept that I have in mind. Before I get to my new exciting plan, let's get back to the now fully charged Anchor power station. So once these units are charged, which I've waited a little while, I can just put them right here. One here, one over in that corner where that stuff is, in between the couch and the toolbox. And I literally have a portable power station, which is awesome. Like, look at this, hold on. Right here, you have 6 regular outlets with overcharge protection, which is important to have. You want everything to be safe. Now on top of that, it also has USB ports, so I can charge my phone, USB-C ports if your phone does that, it really depends. A car socket right here. So really, pretty much everything you could need on here. And you also have 2 40-volt plugs, which is very helpful because if we're running something like a welder, for example, you can't just plug it into regular 120-volt power. It does not work. The plugs are completely different because, as you might imagine, a welder uses a lot of power. Another thing that uses a lot of power is heaters, and this garage is not heated. So with this Anchor unit, we can actually plug in a 240-volt heater and heat the entire garage in the winter, which is amazing because this place is completely unworkable and was one of our biggest gripes. So this thing is pretty sweet. I can show you how it works here in a second. No longer do I need to run everything off of that one set of outlets over there, which is a huge pain, but now we can literally have our own power stations set up all across the garage. Another thing that really bothered me that this Anchor home unit is gonna solve is the fact that my car needs a trickle charger. The Aston Martin, if you leave it just sitting for a while, it is supercar enough where it has some problems. It doesn't like sitting with the battery not charging. There's no outlets over here, like I said, and the trickle charger simply does not reach all the way over there. So I always have to run an extension cord, but now I can just plug it into here, charge the Aston up, and make sure that it's not freaking out because it has no battery power. So this thing is really awesome. I can use it for tons of other things like powering my power washer, air cannon, lights, speakers, and even fans. Another really great feature of this is that if my house loses power, I can actually run pretty much everything off of these. So it's kind of a nice backup generator in a way. You can even set these things up to be connected to solar panels so they charge directly off of those. And then if your power goes out, they can feed power back in. So this is awesome. If you don't have one of these, really great. You can go pick them up at the link down in the description. They're awesome. Thank you, Anchor, for sending these over. They are sweet. And I am excited to actually have power in the garage. As you know, there's just a single ramp and one door, which does not allow for a lot of parking in this garage. Really, only one car can get in here unless you're creative. So we are, at some point, going to add the other ramp, blow this out, and do a second garage door. But I have another idea that I think you're gonna like. Do you see this wall here? Well, this wall, you actually probably have never seen behind it. Let me show you without running into everything. This wall is not the side of the house. The house is over there. This wall is a separate building that right now is storing a ton of junk that I need to go to the dump because this is how much stuff we collect. Again, if you want some Aston Martin stuff, come grab it. This is our in-home gym that we built out a while ago, me and my roommate. And there's also a loft upstairs. Now, what if we blew out this entire wall, got rid of the ceiling, and then put 2 lifts in and had parking for not only the 2 cars in the other part of the garage, but also 4 cars in here, with the lifts, of course. That is what I'm thinking. I have to get somebody over here to figure out if it's even possible and how much it would cost, because I'm sure it's very expensive and I don't have the money right now. But I want to do this. I really want to do this. I want to transform this garage into the ultimate car lover's garage. And I think that is the real true way of making it happen. I think that would turn this place into really where I could do all of the work on the cars. I wouldn't need to rent another space, at least for a while, because we don't have, a ton of cars. But that can't happen in this video. It's gonna happen in the next video of the series, which at this rate will probably be in a few months. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. I appreciate you.